Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna Maharaj Ji.
So today's topic is practicing devotion at home or devotional service at home. Grihastha, a householder. What is best for a householder to practice bhakti? So in the 13th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, in verses 8 to 12, Krishna describes 20 items of knowledge. And one of the items of knowledge Krishna describes in this 13th chapter is Anabhishwangaha putradara grihadishu. Putra means son, dara means wife, griha means home. So Krishna is specifically telling one of the items of knowledge is non-attachment to children, wife, home, and the rest. Non-attachment to children, wife, home, and the rest. Now, this is obviously not very easy to be unattached to home or to the family members, etc. So Prabhupada says in the purport to this verse, it's a very big purport. I'll read the portion which is relevant to our discussion. As for detachment from children, wife, and home, it is not meant that one should have no feeling for these. It is not meant that one should have no feeling for these. They are natural objects of affection. But when they are not favorable to spiritual progress, then one should not be attached to them. So Prabhupada is clearly telling they are natural objects of affection, wife, children, home, natural objects of affection. But when they are against your Krishna consciousness, then you have to be not attached to them. The best process for making the home pleasant is Krishna consciousness. If one is in full Krishna consciousness, he can make his home very happy, because this process of Krishna consciousness is very easy. One need only chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Accept the remnants of food stuff offered to Krishna. Have some discussion on books like Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, and engage oneself in deity worship. These four will make one happy. So here is a secret Prabhupada is revealing. 4 types of activities, if performed at home amidst the family members, will make a person happy. One should train the members of his family in this way. The family members can sit down morning and evening and chant together Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. If one can mold his family life in this way to develop Krishna consciousness, then there is no need to change from family life to renounced life. But if it is not congenial, not favorable for spiritual advancement, then family life should be abandoned. So this is the instruction and the explanation given by Srila Prabhupada for that particular point, that one has to be detached from children, wife, home, and the rest. So it doesn't mean that somebody doesn't have any feeling. It is just that one has to be concerned whether they are an obstacle on your path of progress in Krishna consciousness. Now, one more point is that even if family members may not be so favorable, if one is determined to actually make spiritual progress, then Krishna from within the heart will help you to actually follow Krishna conscious principles under all circumstances. If you study the Bhagavatam, the examples in the Bhagavatam, so many devotees face so much of obstacles. The best example is Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj had so much of difficulty even to just chant Hare Krishna. Nothing. His father was such a demon, but Prahlad never had that excuse that my father is a demon. I don't have any favorable situation. Never. So, first of all, the mindset of the devotee is that Krishna consciousness is to be practiced under all circumstances. Whether it is my bodily condition or the situation around me or my family members or some kind of unfavorable circumstances, whatever be it, Krishna consciousness is independent of all that. It is not dependent on anything like that. So, to make your situation, rather to, of course, here Prabhupada is telling to make your situation favorable, you have to train your family members, or try to train, I would say, try to train your family members in case they are not already participating in your Krishna conscious activities. Try to train them by sitting together and having some kirtan, doing some japa, discussing something from Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, and mainly offering food and taking prasadam. So this will definitely create good atmosphere at home, and it will also create bonding between family members, which will be very, very healthy, very favorable for Krishna consciousness for everyone. Now I will take some questions. Here is a question: how to practice Krishna consciousness at home like a missionary? Now, what I made Prabhupada's recommendation, that is definitely going to help you. Now, like a missionary means, a missionary is very, very serious about Krishna consciousness. So a householder or a member of a family can also be serious about Krishna consciousness in spite of having some family duties or responsibilities or some other duties, responsibilities, etc. One can still be serious about Krishna consciousness. It doesn't, in any way, the other duties and responsibilities don't come in the way of Krishna consciousness. This is what we have to always remember. So, how does one become serious in Krishna consciousness? By actually very rigidly engaging in the activities under all circumstances. Just like whether I like or don't like, I chant every day. Even if my chanting is not of very good quality, still I chant. Even if there is some obstacle for chanting Hare Krishna, still I chant. If I can't chant loudly, I will chant softly. If I can't chant at home, I will try to chant going outside the home. I have heard devotees who had unfavorable circumstances at home, how much they have actually determined, how much they are determined to somehow practice Krishna consciousness. And Krishna is so very kind to them that very soon Krishna will change their position, their situation, to make things favorable for them. Completely it will change. It is miraculous how it happens. But you should be determined. Somehow you chant, somehow you hear or read or visit the temple or keep a picture of Krishna, even a pocket-sized picture of Krishna in your pocket, and you pray and you mentally offer. If you can't physically offer, mentally offer. Or physically also, you can offer some water. What is the difficulty? Krishna says, I accept even water offered with devotion, or one tulsi leaf, or one flower, or one fruit. So kind Krishna is, so merciful he is, he's not demanding anything. So the bhakti is that feeling of gratitude to Krishna and feeling of respect for Krishna, the greatest personality, the maintainer, the well-wisher, the Supreme Lord, who is accessible so easily in our present age. The picture of Krishna, Krishna is present. The sound of Hare Krishna, Krishna is present. The words of the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is present. See, so easily we are able to approach Krishna because of the mercy of Prabhupada. So don't give up the practice. Don't become very much worried about what is going to happen in future. Your future is only going to be better, brighter, and it's going to improve. Conditions will improve as time goes by if you persevere, if you continue to practice under all circumstances. Next question, how to chant Hare Krishna peacefully with lot of maintenance pressure in family? Again, peace is something we should understand. What is peace? You have to study Bhagavad Gita, but I'll tell you briefly now that peace means, peace of mind means, for practicing Krishna consciousness means, under all kinds of external unfavorable situations, I don't become disturbed in the mind. I don't become disturbed. Because I should understand the nature of this material world is, sometimes the conditions will be favorable, sometimes not be favorable. Sometimes there will be excessive heat, sometimes excessive cold, sometimes there will be rain, sometimes there will be wind, sometimes there will be some lockdown, sometimes there will be some earthquake, sometimes there will be some police curfew. Something or other is going on in this material world. Actually, in the material world, there is no externally peaceful situation. There is no external peaceful situation at all. So therefore, it is to be seriously thought over that whatever be the situation outside, by chanting Hare Krishna, thinking of Krishna, remembering Krishna, reading the Krishna book or Bhagavad Gita, chanting Hare Krishna, hearing about Krishna, I will detach myself and I will not become worried or become fearful or become anxious about external situation. See, this hoping that, oh, I wish it was like this. I wish my situation was better. This wishing situation was better. If it was good, I could have nicely practiced. Don't even think of that at all. Don't even plan anything like that. Don't even look forward to some better situation. Of course, within the core of the heart, you know that I have myself brought about the situation due to my own past sinful activities. Why are we not able to get favorable situation even though we want to have favorable situation? Because our own past misdeeds. That is the reason why I am in the situation. So now if I do Krishna, practice Krishna consciousness, my future will be very, very good. It will change completely if I chant now. So set aside all kinds of difficulties or obstacles or some unfavorable circumstances and simply vibrate the tongue and say Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. In any condition, you can chant. Anywhere you can chant. Lying on the bed, you can chant. While taking bath, you can chant. While walking from one room to another, you can chant. As long as the tongue is not engaged in some other activity, you can chant. What is the loss? There's no loss. And the gain is very, very great. So take advantage of all these things. Should we remove tulsi leaf from the bhoga, which is already offered to the Lord, and then mix it all in the respective items in the kitchen? Tulsi leaf is to be honored specifically as very, very important item of Mahaprasadam. Because tulsi leaf means it is coming from the Lord's plate only. So that is the significance of tulsi leaf. That tulsi leaf has to be eaten by anybody who is a devotee, or anybody can take that. So that has to be removed and it has to be honored separately. It should not be generally mixed with the prasadam. Of course, if it is mixed with the prasadam you take it as it's okay. But supposing by mistake that is kept aside or thrown away, that's a big offense. That should not happen. Sometimes, even if you want to practice Krishna consciousness in all aspects, circumstances won't be very supportive to practice everything we want to. How to manage our practice in such times? Do whatever you can do. You don't have to think of, oh, I cannot do something which somebody else is doing, or something else which somebody else is doing. No, don't think about that. You just see what you can do. As I told you, you can't do anything. Simply close your eyes. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Over. Finished. That much you can do it. And then little you start off doing in a small way, and you can increase, more. That's the nature of Krishna consciousness. Krishna is waiting to help us. He's very eager to help us and get us out of these situations. But we have to cooperate. We have to make things favorable by our action. Everything depends on what I do, not what situation is. It's not dependent on your Krishna consciousness, is not dependent on what external situations are, or what is your condition of the body. It's not dependent on that. It is dependent on whether you are doing something Krishna conscious. That's all. Finished. Nothing else matters. Nothing else matters. Remember this always. How to come out of a confused state of mind or a state of decision making? Confusion in the mind is because of so many desires which you have to be fulfilled, or so many expectations about some work you do, or so many negative thoughts about, I wish things were not like this. This wishful thinking has to be stopped. And also stop desiring material. As long as material desires are there, mind is never peaceful, never satisfied, never clear thinking will happen, especially in Krishna consciousness, never it will happen. So you have to stop this material desires, no more materialism. What to do about that? You start desiring spiritually. You desire to increase your Krishna consciousness, desire to chant more, desire to hear more, desire to read more, desire to pray more, desire to bow down more, desire to have more darshan of the Supreme Lord in the form of picture, in the form of some message in your mobile, whichever way. So this desiring and also acting on that desire, not only desiring, but acting on the desire. So this combination, associating, hearing, thinking, planning for Krishna consciousness, this will actually completely transform your life. So I'll stop here this time. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna devotees, now we'll be having the chanting of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. So we'll be chanting with Prabhupada's chanting, so all devotees can join.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare.